The moment I stepped into the engagement hall, conversations evaporated. Forks froze midair, and guests stared as though my presence violated the decor. My suit wasn't extravagant, but it was mine, earned, not inherited. My mother tried to mask her laugh. My siblings leaned into each other, enjoying the spectacle. Then my sister's fiancé, wearing a watch worth more than my monthly rent, approached with a smirk and asked loudly, "Are you struggling financially? You look exhausted." The room exploded with laughter, and no one defended me. I felt the air stiffen around me, not with joy, but judgment. That night wasn't a celebration. It was a stage built to mock me, and they expected me to play along. I approached my sister to congratulate her, hoping kindness might soften what had happened. She gave me a thin, awkward embrace, pulling away as if my touch might stain her dress. Her friends stared at me like I was a stranger who had wandered in uninvited. Moments later, my father sighed loudly and announced that I should have invested in proper clothing, as though self-worth could be rented. Conversations swirled around luxury cars, beach houses, and pending vacations, yet not one person asked about my life. They were building a world where I did not exist. In their eyes, I wasn't family. I was a reminder of everything they believed they had outgrown. They mistook silence for failure. While they judged my appearance, I was quietly negotiating a deal that demanded every skill I owned. Late nights at my desk, skipped meals, and weekends spent studying contracts weren't signs of poverty. They were bricks in my future. I didn't announce my plans because I wanted results, not applause. My worn-out suit wasn't neglect. It was a badge of sacrifice. They laughed at the visible, blind to the invisible. Success was brewing beneath their assumptions, and they had no idea. They saw a man struggling. They didn't see a man preparing to rise. I sat at the table, hoping the evening would improve, but it quickly devolved into a performance disguised as family talk. My brother boasted about his corporate salary and asked if I had ever considered real work. My mother nodded approvingly, ignoring the smirk forming on my sister's fiancé's face. He leaned back and suggested I find a wealthy partner to upgrade my situation. Every word was a blade, every laugh a wound. They weren't discussing careers. They were dissecting my worth. I ate quietly, not because I was intimidated, but because I understood something they didn't. Storms don't announce themselves. They arrive when the skies look safest. 2 weeks later, while reviewing documents in my small apartment, my phone rang. The investor's voice confirmed what I had worked toward for months. The contract was finalized. I wasn't just an employee anymore. I was the majority shareholder of a rising tech firm. My life tilted in an instant. I signed digitally, watched the numbers update, and felt the weight of every humiliation shift. Instead of celebrating recklessly, I made a symbolic purchase, the same luxury watch my sister's fiancé flashed at the engagement. Only mine wasn't a statement of status. It was a reminder of how quickly positions can reverse. I didn't need revenge. Reality would handle that for me. The next family gathering arrived like an unpaid debt. This time, I didn't step out of my old car. A chauffeur opened the door of a sleek vehicle, and I walked into the house wearing a suit tailored to perfection. Conversations died instantly. My brother choked on his appetizer, and my mother blinked repeatedly, as if reality had betrayed her assumptions. No one mocked my outfit. No one asked if I was struggling. They were too busy calculating what my presence meant. The same family that once treated me like a burden now scrambled to appear welcoming. I didn't smile out of pride. I smiled because truth had finally spoken louder than their laughter. My sister's fiancé couldn't resist one last attempt at dominance. He leaned forward and asked, "So, are you still fighting to keep up?" I didn't argue. I placed a black envelope on the table. Inside was my official appointment letter as CEO of the corporation that now owned his employer. His face drained of color. My father sat frozen. My siblings stared, unable to understand how the story flipped so quickly. I spoke calmly. "I don't need to keep up. I bought the race." The silence that followed wasn't respect. It was surrender. They finally realized I hadn't been behind. I had been ahead where no one thought to look. Suddenly, Everyone found their manners. My mother spoke of pride she never showed. My father asked for advice he never valued. My brother insisted we had always been close. Their tone changed, but their intentions didn't. They wanted access, not forgiveness. I listened without emotion, then paid the bill before standing. I looked at each face that once enjoyed my humiliation and said, "Respect costs nothing. You chose not to pay it." Their expressions collapsed as I walked out. I didn't slam the door. I didn't deliver a dramatic speech. I left quietly, knowing my silence now carried more power than their voices ever did.